Chew and Chat. I am Justine Dorn, and this is Ron Rayfield.
AKA the birthday boy.
Yes, the birthday boy. Ron's birthday is August 21st. You just missed it. But we celebrated it the only way we knew how. We went to Cracker Barrel and we had a good old time. But as for today, okay, so it didn't quite work out with what we cooked this time. Now, why it didn't quite work out this time? First of all, it's about 100 degrees in the cabin right now. So I apologize if we pass out on you or if we look to be melting, if my nose ends up like being right here at the end of the video or whatever because I'm melting. But that's number one. But number two is because the humidity is so bad right now. The heat index is 115 degrees outside. So all of our camera lenses got fogged over and there's nothing that we could do. Like, we tried our best to make it work, but it was fogged over no matter what we did. But we're filming this right now with the GoPro, and the GoPro doesn't have as bad of a problem with that. But unfortunately, we can't use it for filming our cooking videos because it's not HD enough and it just doesn't work well with what we do.
It's too dark in here for it.
It's too dark, but it works for what we do for the chew chats, just not for the cooking part.
Yes.
So we're still here for that. So we put together a lunch anyway, just to sit here and chat with you all. We got toast, we got cheese, we got homemade pickles, we got plums, we got grapes, and we got some watermelon. And I was really looking forward to this one because I was going to show off my new skillet that I got. Remember a month or two ago I mentioned it, I got this for $7 at a reenactment. I was going to cook with it and show it off, but that'll have to happen next week. So, Ron, you can pick out whatever you want to eat.
I think I'm going to go with some cheese and bread and pickles to start with.
Yes, sir. Cheese.
And it's not as simple as just wiping the lenses off. We have to change lenses on the camera, and when you do that, the inside of the camera is exposed, and then the mirror is exposed. It gets fogged over. Well, you can't wipe the mirror off. You'll scratch it. You can't even use a Q-tip on the mirror because you'll scratch it.
Well, also the problem is wiping it off doesn't mean anything because it just fogs over immediately.
Right.
Now, you probably can't see it from afar, but there's so much moisture on all of this fruit.
I think they can see it. It's beaded up. It's dripping off.
The humidity in here is just crazy. In fact, it's probably the worst week I've ever experienced personally.
We actually had to pull everything out of here 3 days ago to mold because it's so humid.
Yeah.
And even the news on TV, they're saying there's so much mold in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
With the humidity, it's really bad right now. So we've got the whole cabin cleaned. In case you didn't notice, it's whiter and brighter.
We wiped everything down with ammonia and soap to make sure no mold was gonna grow.
I was in here mopping the ceiling with ammonia and vinegar water, and it's all clean now. But it's been a few days, and it's going to continue to be this hot for a few days.
It's deadly weather out here. I mean, the heat index is 115. So imagine what it's like with the fire going. It's probably 120 degrees in here.
Now, we have the candles going. People say, well, why you have the candles going? Well, we need a little bit of light on our face. It's bright outside, but it's dark inside the cabin here. That's why we can't ever see out these windows here, just to explain how the camera works. With the camera being able to expose us inside this dark room, it overexposes the outside. I wish we could see the outside, but it's not possible.
Can we eat and get out of here?
Yes. Lord, thank you for this simple but yummy little meal that Justine's put together for us. We hope everybody is staying extremely cool this week and not getting too hot. Hope everybody's having a great week and looking forward to the weekend whenever the cold front comes through. Thank you for everything that we have and all of our friends and our fans and our families. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Those pickles are good. They were actually made by the Amish, by our property. There's a lot of dill seeds in them. I like my pickles with a lot of dill.
I see it. They got it right there. And yes, they had pickles back then.
Yeah, they do have pickles back then.
You can pickle anything. You can pickle cabbage. You can pickle eggs.
Yeah.
Cucumbers.
You can pickle just about anything. Well, mostly anything.
Peppers. I love pickled peppers.
Oh, yeah.
Like those banana peppers. Those are so good on like a cold deli sandwich.
Oh my gosh.
Or in a salad even.
This is pretty good. Merely because it's cold.
That's a plum, right?
Yeah, these are plums. We got grapes. We got watermelon. Do you know they had watermelons in the 1800s? Watermelon seeds were found in Tutankhamun's tomb in ancient Egypt.
Wow. That's a long time
So
ago.
watermelons go way back, but they didn't quite look like they do now in his time. They had a lot more of the white rind inside of it. Now by our time period, the 1820s, 1800s, I would say they were 90% there to how they look today.
What, the oval kind of green stripe?
No, it's all the inside that changed.
Oh, the inside.
The inside is what changed. So on the inside, watermelons, they used to have a lot more of that white rind inside of them and not so much of the pink flesh that you actually eat, right? But by the 1800s, they kept breeding this fruit selectively over a couple centuries until the pink part got bigger and bigger and bigger until we have what we have today, which is it's all pink inside. So being that we can't really talk about the video that we attempted to film, let's talk about just things in our personal life as we sit here and eat with you all. So the first thing, maybe you're wondering what this stuff is. We went to a Thrasher convention in Illinois just a couple of days ago. It was so awesome. The Thrasher convention has, I would say, thousands of old tractors and old tractor parts. And they show you how people farmed, basically pre-1940 maybe. But they also will plow fields with horses and everything. Anyway, it's really cool. There were so many people there and we had a great time. They also sell a couple antiques there, so naturally I was gravitating towards that. And I got this butter churn for $30. It turns real smooth, which it's so hard to find a butter churn, a crank one that turns smooth at the antique store. But this one turns really good. And he had 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. I got the medium one for $30. This is obviously not appropriate for the time period that we do, the 1820s, sorry. But this would be for the late 1800s and the early 20th century. But we just collect things like this, non-electric appliances, because we're building an off-grid homestead right now, so we need these things for our marital life. We have lives outside of here, believe it or not. I think sometimes. Sometimes. And then the second thing I got, let me try not to bang Ron on the head. I got this for $15. The price tag is still on there. What in the world is this? So many people were stopping me in the street asking me what this was as I was walking back with it. It's a sieve. So I thought maybe one day I could cook in a giant cauldron a whole bunch of donuts, like fry them up or French fries or something like that. And you take them out with this thingy. It has a bunch of little holes in it. It's a sieve. $15.
I like that idea. Donuts.
Yeah. Donuts. He likes the donut idea. Yes, who does not like that? So yeah, that's my recent antique haul. Now, Ron, let's talk about things in our personal life when it comes to our house, our homestead.
Well, last week we met with the window people here in St. Genevieve.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the windows.
Unfortunately, it's a little bit more than what we bit off a little more than we could chew.
Yeah, that did not work out.
It's going to be roughly $2,500 per window, and we need, I don't know, 17 window units?
We need way more than that.
No, I mean full units, like 17, I think.
Oh.
So, yeah, we're not
doing that.
We're not going that route.
We're not doing it. He came back with a quote. If you guys remember, I also mentioned it on our Early American Facebook page. We went to a window factory recently that specializes in colonial style windows all the way up to Victorian style windows. They make modern ones too. But they're in St. Genevieve, Missouri. And the guy looked at me and he said, now this is going to be very expensive what you want. I thought he was exaggerating. I thought he was going to say something 1/5 the price of what he came back as. Well, guess what? He gave us a quote, $2,500 per window.
Yep. No thanks.
How many windows are in a house? Not just one window is in a house. There's like 20 windows in a house.
So here's the thing. If I'm going to freeze my butt off with single pane glass, I'm not going to pay $2,500 for it. I'm going to pay $125 for it. So
we can't afford it.
We found a supplier who makes the sashes like we have here in the cabin, but you can get them in 12/12, 6/6, 9/9.
It's what Candy has in her shop.
It goes on and on and on. So I'm ordering these. They're $125 a piece. Takes 2 to make a window, so that there's $250, and then maybe $50 in wood for the housing to go around it.
And Ron will build that part.
I am fully capable of doing that. So we're gonna go that route, because 10 years from now, whenever we're tired of being freezing cold because it's single pane glass, I don't want to kick myself in the rear so much when spending $20,000+ on windows that are just going to be just as cold as these $125 piece windows.
It wouldn't have been 20,000. It would have been almost 50 grand.
It won't hurt as bad whenever we have to replace these 10 years from now.
It would have been almost 50 grand just on windows alone if we had gone with that company's windows.
Now, I'm not knocking their work. Their work is excellent.
It's phenomenal. It's what museums all around the U.S., like old house museums, they go to that guy to build the windows. But
our pockets aren't deep enough to play that game, so we're not going to play that game.
We can't. I mean, that's an insane amount of money to us. And to anybody, that's an insane amount of money. 50 grand for your windows.
No way.
When it's the most primitive windows, like it's single pane, it's not insulated at all. The windows don't stay open. You have to put a stick in there in order to keep the windows open.
This is for the plain Jane.
Yeah, these are
locks,
very
no
primitive.
No balancers, no springs, no nothing.
Yeah, very primitive windows. The only catch is that it's multi-paned.
I was thinking maybe 700 tops. No.
Yeah, and even that would have been really expensive for us. But when he came back with 2,500, I think Ron and I just looked at each other, and Ron thought I was going to argue it at first, because he knows I really want these beautiful windows, because windows can definitely make or break a house.
Yes.
But I even looked at Ron and I said, that is not happening.
Real quick, the rind. It's almost non-existent in this one today.
It's been bred to be like that.
Now the bigger watermelons, they have a little bit more white, but I like this. And there's no black seeds in this. There's some white seeds. I don't know the difference between the white ones and the black ones, but these I know you can eat. They're not as thick, and they're like eating tomato seeds. They don't bother you.
They've definitely been bred to be like that.
But this thing is sweet.
That's a good melon. Can you cut me another slice, please?
Yes.
So that is the story of the windows. We've already ordered the windows, by the way. We got all. So let me put it this way.
Almost just under $3,000 for all of our first floor windows.
Right.
And that would have bought us a window and a half from the other place.
Yeah. Yeah,
so put that in perspective.
Put it in perspective. It's still a lot of money. We knew that windows were going to be one of the most expensive parts about the house when you're building an early 1800s house. But the cost difference, like I told Ron, you could buy a Mercedes-Benz for the cost of all those windows. I've never had a Mercedes-Benz in my life.
No.
Yeah, me either. But anyway, so it's like, that's the story of the windows. We tried, we failed. But we're still going to have the old-timey looking windows, just not from that company. No. Yeah. And this Saturday, we're having a wall raising party.
Yes. With
our family and our really close friends.
If we don't die before then.
Because of the heat.
Every day this week. It's 100 degrees, 102, 103. Saturday it's supposed to be in the upper 80s, but Friday it's 103. Me and my dad are supposed to be out there putting the walls together. We're going to let them lay, and we'll see how far we can get. Like I said, it's going to be 103, and that's with 100% humidity.
So the heat index is 120.
Thick outside. It looks as if there's wildfire smoke. It's so bad. It's just gray.
And all the houses around here, the glass is fogged over.
Yeah, it looks like you've sprayed the windows of every house around here, and with a water hose. It's insane how humid it is. I'm doing my best to hold in the juices right now.
Let me guess. When you take that thing out, it's just gonna be like you poured a bucket of water on.
I could probably wring it.
Ew! This watermelon's really helping.
It does. It really cools you down. So how would they stay cool back then? Well, there's shade for one. There's windows that are open. there's wooden fans, paper fans.
We had cross breezes.
Cross breezes.
Designed your house to have a cross breeze. Now modern houses don't have that no more.
There is well, you can thank the air conditioning for that. They don't need it because they got air vents running to each room, so they don't need it.
You don't need it until your power goes out, and then everyone complains. Oh, I remember back in 1997, I spent a whole 3 days without air conditioning when electricity went out. It was horrible. Meanwhile, people back then, they designed their house to be self-sufficient and actually had a cross breeze in every room.
Now
Crazy.
you can also find yourself a watering hole. Go sit in the watering hole. Drink something cold. Eat something cold. Any kind of melon, fruit, they got water in them, so it's good to keep you hydrated. It's even back then they knew they had to stay hydrated because they were working harder than what we were.
They had foot-powered fans, by the way.
Yes, George Washington had a chair that had a
foot pedal.
Had a foot pedal.
And it made a fan move.
And there was a thing above him that would
go back and forth over his head.
You can actually see that at Mount Vernon.
Yeah, it's still there. You can see it.
Yeah, really neat.
Right.
I need to get me one. Actually, I should just make me one.
Yeah, Ron, you could do that. So we're going to do attempt number 2 next week.
Yes.
With the same recipe that we tried and failed to do today. It's actually a very simple recipe too. But
do we want to tell them what it is?
Nah.
Yeah, you have
Let's
to
just wait. We'll wait. So we'll be back next week with that. But for now, Ron, do you want to do this week in history?
My butt's upside down.
Go!
Okay, so for this week in history, on August 20th, in 1833, our 23rd president, Benjamin Harrison, was born. So happy birthday to President Harrison.
Okay, happy birthday, Harrison. It's crazy. We already had that many presidents by the early 1800s.
I know, the 23rd president.
Wow.
Now, he lived till 1901.
Whoa, he lived a long life. Okay, he saw a lot of stuff.
He did see a lot of stuff. So he was, let's see, he would have been about 70 years old.
Oh, well, that's not that long a life.
But he lived in 2 centuries.
Yeah.
18th and 19th,
yes,
technically.
He did.
So.
We've lived in 2 centuries.
Oh, I'm sorry, 19th and 20th. Yeah, we've lived in the 20th and the 21st. Maybe we can make it to the 22nd.
Working on it. Keep eating fruit like this and you might.
You better get me one then. Next up, on August 21st. Oh, speaking of 20th century, this is our first 20th century
fact here.
August 21st, 1988, on a dark and stormy night, the stars aligned and a baby was born. His name was Ronald Rayfield.
Yeah, August 21st, Ron was born.
Yep. Next up, August 22nd, in 1775, King George III proclaims these colonies to be an open rebellion.
Oh?
So the war is officially kicking off. In April, they had the battle at Bunker Hill. And then a few months later, the king proclaims us to be an open rebellion. Soon after that, they declare war on us, and it gets rolling.
We're talking about the Revolutionary War
Yes.
here. Officially got rolling when the king declared that we were being rebellious.
Next up, I got for August 24th. In 1814, the British captured Washington, D.C., and they burned the White House, they burned Library of Congress, and they like setting fires.
Did you guys know about that? That the White House was burned down?
Dolly Madison, President James Madison's wife, ran
First
back
lady.
in. Yeah, the First Lady. She ran in and saved the big painting of George Washington and many other things that were important.
Yeah, important to American history, and thank goodness that she did that. We still have it to this day. But they also burned the Library of Congress. We lost so many books.
Thousands of books were
Thousands
lost.
of books because of that. Now, that was just mean. Why would you do that? England, can you answer me? Why would you burn a library full of old books?
Next up, I've got in 1891, Thomas Edison patents the motion picture camera.
What year?
1891.
Okay, there you go. They had motion pictures in the 1890s.
Yep.
Not in the 1820s. I have so many people on my channel, they comment, I cannot believe the quality of this film.
I can't tell
From
if they're
1820.
joking or if they're dead serious, but I really hope they're not dead serious.
Some of them I can tell they're joking, but others are dead serious. I can just tell.
That's so sad.
It's shocking. It's shocking. So they had videos in the 1890s.
The first camera didn't exist until the late 1820s, and it's not a very good camera. It's a really crappy picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no video
can't handle
cameras.
movement.
There definitely was no audio.
No, there was no audio.
The films were silent until into the 20th century.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know where they're learning this from, but not from us. But hey, it's been great being here with you guys. It's super hot. I apologize if we seem low energy today. The humidity takes it out of you. If you've been out in this, you know what we're talking about. So we're gonna hop off here, and we'll see you all next week. We love you guys and appreciate you. So we'll see you next week. Thank you.
I'm close to passing out, not gonna lie. It's really, really bad.
It's bad. It's bad.
Really bad. It's like when it gets to be this humid, it's hard to breathe.
What are we waiting for? Let's go.
Okay, bye guys. We'll see you next week. Next week it'll work out. The humidity and temp isn't supposed to be that crazy next week. Thank goodness we're heading towards fall. Okay, y'all. See you later. We love you. We didn't want to leave you hanging and not put a video out.
It's hot. Come on.
Okay, bye guys. See you next week. Love you.
Bye-bye.